not a Sunday school lesson. This is for you having deep revelation of the Word of God. And so you will go beyond understanding what salvation is, the basic meaning of salvation. But we want to understand grace, right? We want to understand grace this morning. Grace is when God elects to do something simply because He is God. When God elects to do something simply because He is God. We have often been learned since we were kids that it is the unmerited favor of God. Full stop. That's grace. Nobody can take it further than that. They cannot understand it. But we pray about it and we say, go in grace and we bless you with the grace of God, and it is the grace that is going to carry you. But God is doing something. It is the authority, the power of God. Grace is the very life that flows from God. When you function and come into a place where you're full of grace. The Bible talks about Jesus was full of grace in that He functioned with power, authority. He represented and speak on behalf of God. So when I function and I'm mature, I am functioning and maturing until I come to a place where I'm full of grace, and we're going to learn that grace comes in measure. I'm full of grace so that when I speak as an oracle of God. I speak as a representation of God. Go to Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 2. We're going to look at quite a few scriptures because I want you to grasp this over the time that we're going to share. And many times it says, if you have heard of the dispensation, the dispense of grace of God, which is given me towards you. Paul is saying, have you heard about the dispensing of grace? So that means grace is something I can give out. Have you heard of the dispensing of grace that is given to me that I can now dispense or give to you? Now we have always seen grace or see ourselves as the consumer of grace. We have always seen grace as, hey, the favor of God upon me, the favor of God upon me. And we have never been taught that we are the bringer, the instrument, the container of grace. And so I want to change our perspective. We are the containers. We are the authority, the power and authority that speaks on behalf of God. You are the face of grace. What it is. You carry grace with you because you represent the power and the authority of God. The very life of God comes through you. And you're fully equipped to dispense that grace. You're fully equipped to dispense life to others. The words that I speak, Jesus says, they are life and they are truth. So the very words that you contain within you must bring life. That's why your word can change environment. As a believer, as mature saints, it is the season we must understand that we come into, that we are in, that is known as the season of grace. Those of you who study dispensational times and period, you will understand that we are in that dispensation of grace, the grace of God. But it's not just God having grace on us. It is we ourselves containing and carrying the grace. We demonstrate Christ via grace. We demonstrate Christ via grace. So how does grace operate? What's this grace? Let's go to the next slide. I'm moving sitting back and forth. And we're going to look at these areas here in our next slide. We're going to look at the economy of grace, the origin of grace, and the autonomy of grace. We're going to understand that grace is in the Word, grace is in truth, and grace is in spirit. So we're going to take the next few moments just to briefly look at the economy of grace, because grace functions in an economy, the origin of grace, the autonomy of grace, and then we understand that grace is in the Word, it is in truth, and it is in spirit. When you are lost, Let's look at economy. When you are lost, someone who is not a Christian and lost is separated from God the Father. Isn't that true? And once you become separated, you lost purpose, you lost objective, you lost intention, you live outside of God. So there is no purpose, because it is in God that you find purpose. So what happens? You step out from a place of grace. It's like the prodigal son leaving the father's house. He stepped out of a place of grace and he goes to have his own way. Where does he find himself? He finds himself in a pigsty. Because what is he doing? He is trying to live life as he sees it. He is trying to carry out his life with his own intelligence, with his own information, how he feels that it should be done. So he's working himself. And he comes out from a place of supply, he comes out from a place of covering, he comes away from the Father's house, and he messed up his life. It is at the point of returning back to the Father established him into the economy of grace. Because I wanted to see the Father's house is the place of grace. The Father's house is the economy of grace. In the Father's house, there are servants, there are inheritance, there are cattle, there are provision, there is protection. All that is what comprises this economy. And in this economy, the prodigal son has to come back in. And what happens? The Father establishes him back into that economy. And how does he establish him? As a son. What does the prodigal say? He says, I will go back to my father and let him know that even the servants are better than where I am. And make me one of thy hired servants. A servant cannot enjoy the economy of grace. So the father in his wisdom says, no, I'm going to bring you and place you as a son. So a son understands relationship with a father and understands how to function in that economy that is called grace. You get this? So he comes back and places him as a son. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 9. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 9 says, my grace is sufficient for you. So when we come into that economy, it is the grace of God that carries us, to sustain us, and his grace is sufficient for us. Acts chapter 6 and verse 8. Awesome. Stephen. And it says, and Stephen was a man full of faith and power, and did great wonders and miracles amongst the people. You go to the NIV version, it talks about Stephen is a man of God, full of grace and power. Now, 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 2 says, 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 2. Grace and peace be what? Multiply unto you through the knowledge of God and of Jesus Christ. So how does grace come in this economy? It comes through and multiply to you through the knowledge of God. So grace is that economy in which God functions. Understand? Grace is that economy in which God functions. What is an economy? An economy is a system of production, distribution, consumption. It's economy. And it is in that economy the sons of God live out their existence as an exact representation of the person of God. When we become sons of God, we are here to rightly reflect God the Father. And when we become sons of God, we step into an economy where we learn to rightly reflect God the Father. Let me explain this with an example. We go to 1 Kings chapter 17, verses 8 to 16, and you can write it down just so that you can go on. And it talks about Elijah. Elijah is at the brook of Cherith. And God commissioned him to go to that brook, and he said, I will sustain you there. So Elijah is at the brook, and Elijah is receiving bread, he's receiving meat, he's drinking at the water, he's been taken care of at that brook. The brook Cherith is a ravine that flows out of the Jordan River, and here he is at this ravine, and he sets up camp, he builds an economy here, and God is sustaining him. And then what happens? The brook dries up. Remember the story? The brook dries up. What does God come? God comes and says, rise up, Elijah, and go to Zarephath. And there is a widow woman that is going to what? Sustain you. What is God doing? God sets up an economy and puts him here. And then the sustenance of this economy is no longer there. So God is moving him into another season, into another economy. So we have to understand the season in which God moves us. Because if Elijah stays in that dried up brook, he will die. He will dry up. Yeah. So first of all, he has to hear and understand the voice of God. Go to this widow woman who is going to sustain you. Go to the woman. Go to Zarephath. I've already put things in place. I've already built an economy in which you can be sustained. So the close of a season means that there is a close of provision. Provision fail. If you continue to remain in that economy where God is no longer functioning, there is not going to be grace to carry you through. And so you begin to be fighting in that economy because there is no longer provision there. Divine provision comes when we understand that God operates in season. So there is something quite interesting here. Because if we don't understand when a season changes, if we don't understand when God has moved into another season, then we don't know how to move and function in another economy. So we hold on to a season. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's the same God, the beginning and the end. But with every season, God is responding differently. The same God responding differently in every season. You get this? Let me just put it this way. We are a father that have children, and when we have little kids, we understand the end of their life from the beginning. So what do? We put things in place. We say, okay, this child is going to go to university, is going to do this. So I set up an account, I start to save money, you start to put everything in place because you already know that this little baby is not going to stay as a baby. Quite true? This baby is going to grow up, go to school, they will need books, they will need uniform, they will go to university, my expense is going to become more, they will want a car, they will want a different phone, they will want... So you set that up in your mind as a father. Why? Because you see the end from the beginning. So in the beginning you have small expense, you are treating them as a child because they are a child. But when they become 16 years old, you understand? You're not going to come to them at 16 years and say, kuchi, 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 koo. You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because they are no longer a child. They've grown up. But does that change you as a father? Of course not. You are the same yesterday as you are today, as you will be tomorrow. But now you are responding to them differently. Now, because they are growing up, you are going to what? Treat them different. You're going to respond to them different. You're going to address their issues different because they are growing up. And as they become mature and they become young adults, you're going to treat them different. The things that they used to get away with when they were 5 years old, they're not going to get away with when they are 20 years. You understand? But you're still a father. You're still a father. But now you're responding to them differently. Why? You are the same father yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But I'm responding. I'm changing based on, not a change of father, but I'm changing based on how I respond to them. That's how God is. So when we say He's the same yesterday, today, and forever, He does not cease to be God, cease to be a father, but He responds to us based on our maturity, based on our measure of grace, based on our faith. Are we getting this? So I'm trying to break it down as simple as possible, you understand. So he tells Elijah, he says, go to Zarephath. And so when you go to Zarephath, there's going to be a woman there. Obedience produces dynamic results. That's all God wants, your obedience. Obedience is what's going to produce the dynamic results. You're going to see the divine unfolding when you're obedient, and then you will begin to function in an economy of grace. Because it is that place where there is life, where there is provision, and you are able to walk it out because you are a container of grace. You have the capacity to carry that grace. So grace is in an economy of provision. Say that with me. Grace is in an economy of provision. Again, grace is in an economy of provision. So when the provision runs out, you know I'm in the wrong economy. Now we go to Matthew, and we learn the story of Jesus walking on the water. And the disciples is in the storm, and they are struggling in the storm. They are trying to row, they are trying to stay alive. And in that same environment, Jesus is walking on the water. Very cool, he's walking. The scripture says he would have passed them by. He's walking on the water in the same environment. Two economies operating side by side. In one economy, the disciples are struggling. And in that same environment, that same economy, Jesus is walking with them side by side. Grace is an economy of protection. Even if you're going through the storms, if you're going through the rough water, you understand the economy in which you're in, and you are protected. You are in a place of rest. Jesus could have slept in the boat, even though there was a storm, because he understood the grace in which he walked in. So, grace functions in an economy. I want you to get it. An economy. Grace functions in that economy. And so you have to come into that season, come into that economy, and when you understand that, it flows. I shared with some of the folks recently that every time you do a trip, every time you travel, you come with a different level of grace. And so I remember one time we went to a summit in Canada, and there was such a powerful anointing that the grace we came up with was a grace of anointing, a different anointing. This time it's a grace of revelation. I am myself intrigued that when I read the Word of God, there's stuff that pops out there, revelation that comes to me that I just have not seen before. It's a different revelation of the Word. So there's a grace transference that takes place upon your life. That when that grace comes upon you, you begin to function in a different economy. So that's an economy. Ephesians chapter 3, verses 1 to 4. We read it just now, let's go through it again. For this cause I, Paul, a prisoner of Jesus Christ, for you Gentiles, if you have heard of the dispensation of the grace of God which is given to me, to you, how that by revelation, Rhema, you may know unto me the mysteries as I wrote afore in few words. Right? We go to verse 4. Whereby when you read, you may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ. Understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ. That word dispensation is used to describe the administration. It is a divinely appointed order, age, or period of time. You understand? That's what we're in a divinely appointed order, age, or period of time, where there is an administration of grace. So we said grace is life, it is power, it's authority, it's the very substance of God, and that function in an economy, and we need to understand the season and the economy it functions in. Secondly, we want to look at the origin of grace. Grace proceeds and comes from God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Grace is the substance of which the Godhead is made up of. Each person of the Godhead is spirit. God is spirit. That's why they that worship must worship in spirit and in truth. God gave us a spirit because that spirit is able to communicate with Him. That spirit has the capacity to carry grace in it. It has the capacity to carry the very substance of God. But each of those spirits has nature, person, and will. So we refer to the nature of God as the very substance of who God is. The Greek word is hypostasis. The very substance of who God is. the nature, the person, and the will of God comprises the substance of who God is. And substance is a matter which has a specific compositional properties. When we talk about the substance of something, it is something that has composition towards it, it has properties towards it that makes it into a substance. Hypostasis, that Greek word, is the underlying substance or the fundamental reality that supports everything else. So we're getting a little more deeper into this. So when we say that we talk about the favor of God, the favor of God is just one component of what grace is. It is one aspect of what grace is. It does not truly help us to understand the fullness of grace. It is just one area in which we walk in. We walk in the favor of God. We walk in the grace of God. We find favor. It is more than just the belovedness of God. More than just the very fact that God loves us and He's kind to us. It is the very essence of who God is. And that is why when you become a child of God and Jesus comes into your life, you begin to function in that economy where you can defy all odds and the doors open before you so that favors, miracles, wonders, signs follow you. So I don't say, God, grant me favors. Favors are already in place because I am functioning in that economy. Understand? You see, we go before God and we seek, and we always say we seek His hand. God, I'm doing this, I want to find favor in this, and I want to find favor in that, and I want to find favor in that. And that's good. But that's a Sunday school teaching. When I know my identity and I know I function in the economy of grace and I know Jesus is in me, I know who I am, I know that favor will follow me. When I step into a place, it should be a place of favor. Are you understanding this? I can defy the odds. I can create the environment. I can cause the doors to open because I know who I am. I am persuaded that neither death nor life, no principalities, no power, no things in heaven, no things in earth. I'm defiling all those things because I'm functioning in the very essence of who God is. I'm functioning in grace. You get this? So we become very wishy-washy Christians, for the want of a better word, because we do not have a good understanding of our being in God. And we become easily persuaded by the things of the world. Rather than change the world, we are easily influenced by the world. When I know who I am, I decide the economy that it has to function. And that's why we are very protective on what we have. That's why I started last week and saying that when you have not come to the place where $100 given in an offering is not much to God, because we don't tip God. We don't give God a token. We give out of our heart. Because I understand the economy, that even though the brook dries up, that God will sustain me because He's going to move me into a next economy. Hello? So, my income does not influence me. My income does not dictate the way I live. My economy in God dictates the way I live. And it takes faith to do that. And I can only step out in faith when I understand the economy of grace. Come on. And so I'm teaching you this, and I'm teaching you this in a very difficult way. That's why I said it is more blessed to give. The blessing comes in the giving. You understand this? So you have to come to that place. So grace comes from the throne room of grace. Because that's what the economy is. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain what? Mercy and we would find grace to help in times of, oh, do we all have needs? Come on. We all have needs. We always have needs. But what does the scripture say? He says, come boldly before what? The throne of grace. When we speak about throne, what does throne talks about? Throne talks about majesty, it talks about power, it talks about kingdom, it talks about rule, it talks about dynasty. You understand? So when I come before the throne, I understand that I'm stepping into a kingdom mentality. It is not a slave mentality. I don't have a poverty mindset, because now the one that I serve, he's a king. And he has translated me from the kingdom of darkness. He's moving me from one kingdom in which I am from, one economy, into the kingdom of light, into another economy. And when I'm functioning in this economy, in this kingdom, I can come before a throne. And in that throne is where I obtain what? Mercy, and where I find grace. So when I come before the throne of God, I obtain mercy, but it is at that place that I'm going to find grace, and it is the grace and the mercy that is going to help me in my time of need. Can we say amen? Now what is mercy? Mercy means that God is not punishing me for the sins I deserve to be punished with. You understand? God is having mercy. He's not punishing me for what I deserve to be punished with. He's delivering me out of judgment. And grace here is that God is dispensing kindness towards me, benevolence towards me, love towards me, even though I do not deserve it. The very nature of who he is allowing him to love. That God so loved the world that even while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. It's the very nature of who he is. So that Greek word, charis, for grace, is the favor, the goodwill, the loving kindness of God. And in the New Testament, that word charis takes on a redemptive sense, in which God makes his favor, life available through salvation. The salvation, which is the first element, is a result of God's favor. Titus chapter 2 verse 11 says, for the grace of God appeared that he may offer salvation to all people. To all people. Are we here this morning? I know it's quite a lot to absorb. So we're going to go to the economy of grace, the structure of grace. How is grace structured? And we said grace is found in the Word. John chapter 6 verse 63. Because the Word is Spirit. God is Spirit. Right? John chapter 6 verse 63. That's what it says. It is the Spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profit nothing. The word that I speak unto you, they are what? Spirit, and they are life. Now, if words have spirit attached to it, and it has life attached to it, then it is spirit and life that can do something, that can produce. So he says, the word that I speak to you, these words are spirit and life. So the Logos, it is full of grace and truth. It is alive. That is why God could say, let there be, and there was. Yes. Because as you speak, that is why God said, there is power in your tongue. That when you speak a word, the word will not return void, but it accomplishes what it is set forth to do. So you have the authority because you function in power and authority. You function in economy, where the life, the words that you speak has life in it. And the life is life-changing. So that I can speak something, I can say something, and it produces what it is sent forth to do. So as I mature, my capacity to carry grace and truth must mature. My capacity to carry grace and truth must also mature. Let's read a portion of scripture. John chapter 1 verses 6 to 18. And it's a nice piece of reading, but let's read it. It says, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. So John is a witness of Christ who came as a witness. He was not that light, but he was sent to bear witness of the light. So John is saying, I'm not the light, but I'm a reflection. I'm the moon of this light. Right? That was the true light which lighted every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, but the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he what? Power to become sons of God. Let's pause. We learn that grace comes in power and authority. So we need to understand that word power there talks about the authority to be sons of God. I function in authority because I function in a measure of grace. Even to them that believe on his name, verse 50, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. We're not right up to verse 18. And the word was made flesh, and it dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the value of it, the worth of it, and the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, what? Full of grace and truth. So when the word became flesh, when the word was fleshed out to us, this word was full of grace and full of truth. It means that Jesus came in the full maturity of grace, the full maturity of truth. We have to come to a place where we come into the fullness of grace and the fullness of truth. Our life must be a reflection of that. Have we got this? Now, that's a place of integrity. John bear witness of him and Christ, saying, this was he whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have all we received, and grace for grace. So it comes in measure. Grace for grace. It comes in measure. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by who? So when we accept Jesus into our life, what does he bring into our life? Grace and truth. The very life, the very essence of God. And the substance of God comes into us. The capacity for him to do that is because he breathed breath into us and we became living soul. The very likeness of who God is seen through the grace of God. Verse 18. No man has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he declared him. No man has seen God the Father. But they have seen the Son. And the Son said, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father. He has become the only begotten Son. So he became a representation of who the Father is. It is in that same light that when we walk as Jesus, in the fullness of grace, in the fullness of truth, so that when people see us, they see God the Father. That's why it is important that we are a representation, and a good exact representation of who God is. So grace is found in the Word, and that Word has to be fleshed out to us. When the Word is fleshed out to us, then we understand the capacity, we understand grace, the Logos. But the grace of God is not only found in Word, it is found in truth. Colossians chapter 1 verses 3 to 6 says, grace to you and peace from God our Father, our Lord Jesus Christ. We give thanks to God and the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, praying always for you. Since we have heard of your faith in Christ Jesus and your love for all saints, because of the hope that is laid up for you in heaven, of which you have heard before in the word of truth of the gospel, which has come to you, as it has always in all the world, and is bringing forth fruit, as is among you since the day you heard and knew the grace of God in truth. In truth. Grace is spirit. Grace is word. Grace is truth. Grace is spirit. Zechariah chapter 12 verse 10 says, I will pour on the house of David and on the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and supplication. Zechariah. And they will look upon me whom they have pierced. Yes, they will mourn for him as one mourned for his only son, and grieve for him as one grieved for the firstborn. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 29. Hebrews 10:29 it says, of how much worse punishment do you suppose will he be thought worthy who has trampled the Son of God underfoot and counted the blood of the covenant by which he was sacrificed, a common thing, and insulated in the spirit of grace. So grace is in spirit. Now go to Ephesians chapter 4 verse 7. Because our spirit has a measure of life that functions with a measure of grace. But every one of us is given grace. Every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. So we understand this grace. And to every one of us, grace is dispensed. Grace is given. It's given according to the measure. It's given in measure. He gives in measure a capacity of grace and faith. Romans chapter 12 and verse 3. Romans chapter 12 and verse 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God has dealt with every man the measure of faith. So grace and faith is dispensed based on your capacity to carry grace and faith. There are some things you will not step out to in faith because you have not come to a place or capacity to carry it. And so it is the word, it is the spirit that you have to be constantly in that measure it out to you. Yes. So that's why I said when you know who you are and you function based on word, there is a capacity that you walk in that you can step out and say, no, this is what I'm going to do. This is what God says. Because you understand the economy. Every measure that is measured out to you. And to that measure, you will build capacity to carry that grace. It is the same line that every word that is measured out to you, to the measure that that word is given out to you, it is that measure you will be held accountable. You understand? So you cannot say, well, no, Lord, that word was offensive, and Lord, the pastor throwing stone. The measure that the word is measured out to you is the measure in which God is going to hold you accountable. That's why it's important not to compromise the word. The word has to be spoken as it has to be spoken. It is measured out to you. So now that you know, there is no excuse. It is expected that you will build capacity to carry it out. Now, let me give you an example. If you continue to dispense grace, but you're pouring this grace into a bucket that has a hole, what is going to happen? It's not a trick question. Yes. If you continue to dispense grace, you continue to pour grace, you continue to pour word, you continue to pour word, you continue to pour word, and you pour it into this bucket that has a hole in it. No matter how much you pour, it's not going to fill. Doesn't mean that the bucket does not have the capacity to carry it. Of course not. Doesn't mean that the one who is pouring is throwing in and exerting a lot of energy in throwing in and falling in grace and putting in grace and sending in word and exerting all this energy. Wherein lies the problem? The hole. Are you understand? The hole. The bucket has the capacity. It can carry it. The one who's pouring is continue to pour it. But unless we take a moment to fix the, I'm tempted for you to tell the next person, fix your hole. You understand? But unless you fix the hole, then you would not have the capacity. But every time it pours, whatever is in your life is going to cause grace to leak out. It's going to cause faith. It's going to cause word to leak out. That's why if you take the word in your heart, you're plugging the holes because you want to build capacity to carry this thing. Are you getting this? So think about all the years you have been a Christian. 15 years, 20 years, some people 25 years you have been a Christian. How long are you saved? 25 years I've been walking with God. What's your capacity? What's your legacy? What have you done for God? How many people have you won for the kingdom of God? Who you can point to and say, I've led this person to Christ? Or is your boast in how much time? So what you have been doing over the years is that you have been coming to church. Do you understand? You have just been very religious. I'm coming to church. It would not have been any different if you would have gone in any other religious group. Because I've become very religious. But when I plug the holes and I look back in my life and I see the capacity that I've been with, that God has moved from economy to economy to economy, then I now have a capacity to carry it. I am filled up, the Bible says, full of grace and truth, meaning that the capacity to overflow. So when you become born again, what God does is He starts to fill you. He fills you. He fills you with measure upon measure, measure upon measure, measure upon measure. And that infilling takes place when the word continues to come to you. The word is coming to you. The word is coming to you. But unless I'm taking that word and applying it to my life, then I'm not going to build the capacity to carry it. The impouring of that word into you is the rhema that is going to change and transform your life. So herein lies a problem where a lot of believers are in church a long time, but they have not come to a place of being a heroes. They are not maturing in life because, and if you don't come to that place of heroes, you cannot carry government. Because they have allowed holes to come into my pocket, and I'm not paying attention to say that I need to plug these holes so that I can build capacity to carry it. You possess capacity. You possess the very substance of God when you reflect Jesus Christ. And as I get more grace coming into my pocket, it is not that I do less. It is that I want to do more because there is a passion and desire of grace within me that says I can do more for Christ because there is more word in me. So it starts from the internal. If I am not passionate about the things of God, if I'm not excited about the things of God, if I'm not building capacity and want to do more and expanding my boundaries, then somewhere there, grace word is leaking out that you need to pay attention to. Are we getting this? That's how grace functions. Matthew 3, Jesus comes by the Jordan, he's baptized, we know the story. And what does God say? He does nothing. Jesus says, this is my beloved Son in whom I am what? Well pleased. He is well pleased at the fact that Jesus is now full of grace. He comes up as a huios, as a mature Son of God, in the form of Jesus. The Christ deity takes on humanity, Jesus, and he rises up as a mature Son. And now the Father says, this is the Son in whom I am well pleased, because his very being now has the capacity to carry. So when he speaks to the blind, they get healed. When he speaks to the demon, they flow. Whatever he does, he's commanding his environment. Before he goes into an area, the crowd comes to meet him because the very being in who he is, he brings grace wherever he goes. Why? Because he's full to capacity. So we have to come into that place where we bring grace. And that comes in when there is measure upon measure upon measure. Do not get into a place where it is just about coming to church. Do not make your boast in how long I'm a Christian. Make a boast in the fact that I'm carrying capacity. I was once a child, but now I've put away childish things and I've become a man. And in that man now I develop myself where I have the capacity to carry it. So the very substance of who God is, the very essence of who God is, when it comes into your life, brings you into that place where you begin to function in that economy of grace. So I don't beg God. I know who I am in God because I'm in the house of God. I'm in the Father's house. And in that Father's house, there is an economy in which I can function in. Are you getting this? I'm a son of God. And because I'm a son of God, I understand how to walk as a son of God. I carry about myself as a son of God. I reflect as a son of God. And every day that I live, every day that I hear the word, every day that I read the word, then the Spirit allows to give me more measure of grace, more measure of grace, more measure of grace, because I'm working towards being filled of grace and truth. Are we getting this? Amen. Let's start. Hallelujah. We're going to deal with the other areas. How many of you got this word this morning? Amen.